Hey, welcome back to another episode of Hipster Codes. I just wanted to show a quick project I've been working on. It's a donut shop simulator. I'm going to have to think up a good name for it. But one thing I wanted to show off is in the top right corner, I've been working on a time system. So you have time that goes throughout the day. But what's supposed to happen is you see up there, it says text block. What that's supposed to say is the day of the week, which we're keeping track of in a time component I created, and the number of the day. So how many days you've played in the game. So it starts at 1, goes to 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. And so what I was doing was, it wasn't working. So on begin play, I called, so let me show how it works first. So if you go back to the actual widget, the widget is doing what I showed in a previous video, which is it's binding to every time that the minute updates. So it actually updates the UI just to show the minutes changing and the hours changing. But then there's a separate one for the day, just because I didn't want it to happen. I figured that there would be different functionality based on the day. So whenever the day changes, then we change the bottom portion of the text. Whenever the minute changes, we change the top portion. So the top portion is the, AM, PM, 1:34 AM. So what wasn't working was the begin play wasn't working. So on begin play, calling the dispatch didn't work. The reason I think that happens is because the on construct runs after begin play for all the elements of the world. So this event construct doesn't actually bind to these events in time. But it does happen after, say, like the first frame, or maybe it even happens before the first frame, but after the time component goes through its own begin play, because that's why we still don't see the text block on the time up here, but we do see it on the days down there. So I had a workaround. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to work around this is. So my workaround is to actually go on event tick. This is like such a wonky way. So if anybody's watching this and you have a good way to do this, please let me know to make sure that I can bind to something on a widget. I also thought like maybe running a delay of like 0.01 or something would work, but that seemed really wonky as well. But what I figured out did work is instead of begin play, I go on event tick and then I run a flip-flop node. So you can ignore this. This is just like some debug print string there, but I run a flip-flop node. And then I also wanted to do a do once. That's what I forgot to do. So flip-flop node will go A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. And then let's see. No, is this what I want to do? I don't know if the do once is going to help here. But what I had happen was it basically skips the very first frame, and then on the second frame, it creates the dispatch. But you know what? As I'm talking about it, this is a terrible solution because it's binding every other frame, every 2 frames, which is unnecessary. It gets the job done. So my next solution that I'm thinking about, let me get rid of this. My next solution that I'm thinking about is here, since I'm already getting the time component here on the event construct, I guess I could just grab this. Let me see how I was doing it. So I think I have an event. So I have an advanced minute and an advanced day. We don't want to call these because we don't want the day to go up, even though that would trigger the dispatch. So we just need the information, essentially. So it's sort of not a perfect solution, but I have functionality in here to be able to get me, see, I say get time text, and that gets me a text for the top. No, we don't need that. We need the bottom. How did I have that happen? I think I have a function to do that. No, I don't. So I should turn this into a function. So then I would be able to access it. So if I do this, and I do this into a function, and then I'll do get day text, I'll go ahead and we can make it a pure function. It doesn't need the enumerator in. We can actually get that within, because it's only going to be called from the time component, so we can get it from the time component itself. So we can get the enumerator in, which is going to be the weekday. So I have all my weekdays as an enumerator, where you see you have Monday, and then you click it, and then you get all the way through Sunday. And then I have some functionality, so whenever you advance the day of the week, it goes from Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Thursday, Wednesday, so on and so forth. So this might work. We're getting the text. We might be able to here on construct just set the text. So we're going to set the time text. So if we do the time text, what we want to do is we want to get time text, which I have created a function for. So this is the value of actually creating functions. So we're setting it. We're going to do the same thing for the day. So we're going to set the day text. And because I just did a get day function, get day text function, we can now plug that in. We don't have to do any additional logic. And then we can bind. And then on essentially, whether it's a second frame or whether it's, however much time that the computer needs to process after begin play happens, that then event construct happens, it can then bind, and then all future ones after the very first, construct here, after that, all future time updates and wake day updates will be binded, so they won't have a problem. Now I'm just running it here on the very first frame, but we don't have to do the flip flop, so we're not involving tick anymore. We're not involving begin play on my time component either. Now, the one thing that maybe could make this better is making, instead of, casting to my hero controller, doing it an interface. I'm not going to bother with that in this video, but I just wanted to show, look, even if you're going through the principles that I went over in my previous videos, there's still going to be a bunch of really weird, wonky scenarios that pop up. So if you have a better solution for this, I really want to know what you're doing. So leave a comment down below, but hopefully, you found this slightly interesting. I just want to show off a project I was doing. I'm going to use it more for future videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.